Today I want to talk about how distraction is really just a symptom of another much bigger problem. Hello, Dale Majors here, and if you're a motivated person that wants to get ahead, then you want to subscribe and follow us here on Venture Anyway. I release videos 5 days a week, and they're all geared to help you achieve the level of success that you want. Oh, and remember, don't click the bell, it's just distracting. All right, so today I want to talk about distraction, and a lot of times in other videos we've shared tips and tactics to become less distracted, but really, why are we distracted in the first place? And I like to think about, my kids. I've got a lot of young kids, right? And some of them like to watch TV, and some of them don't like to do homework. And some of them are very distracted while they're doing homework. But these kids who are very distracted, when you put them in front of a TV, are amazingly focused. They're very zeroed in to what's happening. So I've seen the same thing with putting together Lego sets, or there's certain activities that you don't need to remove the distractions from the kids. They are just very focused and not distracted because of the activity that they're doing. So I would say that a lot of the reason we're distracted is because we don't want something enough to give it our full focus. So one thing, and I'm going to lay out 4 things that you can do to really remove some of the obstacles to your focus, not to remove distractions, but just to remove some of the maybe internal blocks that are keeping you from focusing. And for step 1 is you want to better understand what it is that you actually want. And in another video, and I'll put the link here, I talk about a model that I call HATS, where you get really clear around your goal, your hope and your dream, and the actual outcome of what is actually going to happen, right? Your tactics that you'll use and the very specific measures. You basically get really clear about what it is that you're going after. And by having some of that clarity, that almost removes some of the blockers to focus, so you can be even more focused and less distracted. Tip 2 is take more time to plan. I know that we talked about the goal setting model, but just in general, take time to really plan what you're doing and understand why you're doing the certain things. And that will help you get more focus as you think about the big picture, so you can put the activity that you need to get done in a bigger context. And it might make you more willing to just spend the hour that you need to get in and get it done. So tip 3 is imagine the benefits that you'll have once you finish that project that you keep getting distracted from. So it's a way to visualize and think about, wow, man, how will I feel when I get done with that thing? And all of these tips really have to do with putting that little task into a bigger perspective. And if you can't get that excited about it by doing any of these tips, we're actually gonna talk about that. So tip 4, let's talk about it right now. If you can't get focused by goal setting and imagining what better outcome and really understanding the big picture, maybe you need to be looking at better options of things that you can spend your time on, because we weren't made to just be distracted and unfocused. We all have such an amazing contribution that we can make here on the earth and in the world that we shouldn't be kept in a job or set of tasks that just doesn't get us fired up. So we're distracted because we're not fired up about whatever we're doing. I want you to think about times when you were really operating at your peak, when you were doing really well, when you felt awesome, when you felt like you were in the zone. You weren't distracted, right? So if you can't get focused about whatever it is that you're doing, you might need to look into a different sandbox and think about doing something else. So tip 5 is sleep more. Our minds work better when they're well rested. I've talked about how I take a power nap most days, and man, that is so good for my focus. Go to sleep. I actually, it was probably 7 years ago, I did a $5,000 sleep study. And for 10 years, I've been sleeping 6 hours a night, and I don't want to insult my intelligence, but it is what it is. I thought that 6 hours was enough. I'd go to bed, between 10 and midnight, and I would just set my alarm for 6 hours later. I would wake up and I would do my thing, but I found that I was just really tired. When I switched from 6 hours to 7 hours of sleep, that made like all the difference. I was falling asleep a whole lot less during the day. I've got issues. I was just much better rested. And I found, in meetings and everything else, I was just able to pay more attention. So if you find yourself getting distracted and unfocused, it could be because you lack some of the energy that you need to be engaged with your world. So the conclusion here is you're distracted because in some way your needs are not being met. I'd love for you to comment on things that you've done, mindsets or tips and tactics, things that you've done to feel more motivated and less distracted at work. So again, thank you for being part of our channel and our journey, Venture Anyway. I release videos 5 days a week, and all of them are geared to help you take action and be more successful in your life. So thank you, and I will see you next time.